Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here and welcome back to another Division video. The 1.2 update is now live, which means the new Clear Skies Incursion is available, as are the new PvE high value targets, the new gear sets, extraction hijacking, new weapons, the lot. But in this video I want to put together a quick guide on how to complete the new Clear Skies Incursion on hard mode. Challenge mode won't be available until next week, and of course once that does drop I will have a guide for you guys explaining exactly how to do it and how things differ. But for the time being, if you guys do enjoy this video and you do find it helpful, then a like would be super appreciated, and of course comment down below and let me know if you have any questions. So first things first, Clear Skies is a completely different style of incursion to Falcon Lost. It's split into two main encounters and it's not wave based, at least not like Falcon Lost was. Of course there are still technically waves of enemies, but you don't have to overcome a predetermined number of waves to progress. So for this first section, the objective is to blow up the blockade that is preventing you from accessing the Broken Circle. For this, you'll need to deal with a load of enemy Arekkz that are defending the area. These range from shotgunners, snipers, regular dudes, and even the big guys. To begin with, they're just the regular purple life bar enemies, but as you progress, some of the elite yellow life bar dudes will start to show up. As you kill the enemies, more will spawn, until eventually one of the enemies will come out carrying an explosive pack, much like Falcon Lost. They're identified by an orange diamond above their head, and once you kill them, they drop it. You then pick it up, and you then need to go and place it on the barricade door on the left. In this case, our teammate Zupa picked it up, so he went to go and place it. Now you need to place 2 explosive charges in order to open the door. So once the first one is blown up, you simply fend off more enemy spawns until the second explosive pack comes out. You then kill the carrier, grab the bomb, plant it, and then blow open the door. Also, while all of this is happening, there will be mortar strikes from the SAM turret that the Arekkz stole, so much like Falcon Lost, watch out for the red circles. But once you've done that, you can then run straight through into the next section, and if you're so inclined you can even ignore the stragglers that are left behind. This next section is the final part of the incursion, and in this you'll have a few different tasks to do first, and once you complete those the boss will spawn. So before you go further, make sure you restock, because the restock crate now gives you medkits too, which is a nice way to refresh before the next fight. You can enter from the left or the right, but as soon as you drop in, the first thing you need to do is make your way to the middle and press the button on the laptop to activate the helicopter's defences. Now in this case we fought our way to the laptop, but interesting fact, if you send one person, it's actually possible to sneak past the enemies and press the button without getting shot. In hard mode there's not really a great advantage to this, but it's worth knowing because I imagine things won't be quite so easy in challenge mode next week, so that could be a pretty useful tip to bear in mind. Once you've done that, there are 2 fuse boxes on the left and the right that will spawn. These need to be carried back into the middle and plugged in. Now in this case, I actually sat over here on the left to draw aggro from some of the enemies so that the guys on the right could carry the first fuse box without too much trouble. Do bear in mind, however, that there are mortar strikes in this section as well, and they do have a habit of targeting the person carrying the fuse box. And of course, that's one of the reasons for the new gear sets, because if you do happen to have final measure, which I appreciate most people won't if you're doing this for the first time, but if you do have that, then you can of course use the gear set specific talent to consume the mortar. But either way, that aside, it's definitely worth having at least 1, maybe 2 people escorting the fuse box carrier, so that they can not only fend off enemies, but they can also heal the carrier should they need to, and also pop their signature skill as a last resort. Survival Link is definitely a massive help for the carrying stage, because it does allow you to withstand a fair bit while walking slowly. Either way, once you place the first fuse box, you can then turn your attention to the second. They can be done in any order, and they can actually be done at the same time if you're brave and you're confident that your team can do it. But again, I'm pretty sure this will be a million times harder in challenge mode. So while running through hard mode, it's worth trying to think about the wider picture and just sort of thinking about how your strategy may differ, if things get a little bit more difficult. Either way, once you've placed both fuse boxes, you then need to interact with the laptop once more to finally deactivate the helicopter's defences. And in doing so, you'll then trigger the final stage of the incursion. More enemies will then spawn, but the boss will also come out of the helicopter. He's a big Arekkz dude with a hefty shield, and he also has a load of other big guys as bodyguards. For this part, you don't actually have to worry about carrying anything or interacting with anything, so I'd recommend finding a place where you and your team can group up, and then just gradually start picking off the enemies. The boss is relatively easy to kill, so if you do have a spare survivor link, you could always try rushing him, but either way, focus his life down, because once he's dead, it's just a case of clearing up the remaining enemies. Take him out, take out his cronies, and that's it. That is the Clear Sky Incursion complete. It's much shorter, and at least for hard mode, much easier than Falcon Lost. But the nice thing is you can then farm this repeatedly for a source of 2 14 gear set pieces. My team did it in about 9 minutes in total from start to finish, so it's pretty quick overall and a great alternative for those of you that didn't really like Falcon Lost. Either way, that's how it's done. If you guys do have any questions, by all means let me know down below. And of course, as mentioned, next week I'll follow up with a challenge mode guide because I imagine things will get a little bit more difficult when there are level 34 shotgunners and snipers in the mix. But for the time being, thank you very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.